Anyway, you just saw that. That's something I made today, starting from this morning, and it's a whip. It's a laser whip. Instead of using a solid steel sword, I think I want to use a laser whip in this game. And I don't know, I think it'll feel better. It's kind of tricky to use, but in a more fun way than the sword was, where you just kind of have to make a pass at the guy, and at this split moment as you're passing him, you can't really see much of what's going on in the game. This will put it so the target you're killing and attacking is in front of you. Yeah, so I got the idea just because everyone says that this game should just have lightsabers attached to the ships, or the jets rather, or whatever. But I just thought, well, lightsabers are straight and swords are straight. What's the difference? Might as well just be ridiculous and have a steel sword. But I kind of got this idea for the whip by watching like dogfights and playing dogfighting games when you use guns. And there's also some videos on YouTube of these drone minigun turrets that shoot down incoming missiles, and they just kind of shoot a ribbon of fire across the sky, and those are actually just bullets, but it just looks like a big rope or something like that that's lighting up. So I thought it can be kind of the same thing, except the rope doesn't fly away and disappear. It like you hold on to it, and you can retract it too. Yeah, so it's just like a wire that extends in front of your jet, and it can cut through stuff. And I can kind of mute it and play. Alright, so it extends, and you can see the black unlit wire, and then when you press a button it lights up, and then you can do damage. There's a lot of components to it. I'm really surprised that it only took one day to make everything. There's 3 different scripts, I think. There's alright, well, there's a script for each one of these points. There's actually invisible points that are moving around. These points are kind of target points. But anyway, yeah, the points that are moving around, they all have rigid bodies, and they add force to the direction of their return spot. Just using that makes it a little bit too wild. The movement is way too wild, so I dampen it by also doing a transform.position and then vector3.move to the return position from the current position, and then it's the t value of move to, or the steps that it can take, is the distance from the point itself to its return point divided by 2, so that kind of dampens it when it's returning. Otherwise it just waves around way too crazy. And yeah, so each point has that. And then each point also has a box collider that holds. It's a box collider set to be a trigger collider, and it's got it does the damage. And these box colliders have to change size as the weapon is wiggling around, and I can show you that. I just turn on gizmos, and then I'll select this so you can see those box colliders. See them? Right here. So yeah, they change length and width. If they're moving fast, they should be a little bit fatter, and they just change length depending on how far away the points are. And there's 4 points, and that's enough to approximate a sort of rope thing, I think. Alright, so there's a script on each one of those, and I'll show you right now. It's this one. So here's MP1, and the whip sword point is the script that moves it like a whip. And inside that script, Yeah, here it is. It doesn't let the whip freely fly until it's fully extended. Then it's not a kinematic rigid body any longer, and it starts calculating the direction it needs to return to. And this is the sweep width is how fat the box colliders should be. So that's the direction it's moving in, the magnitude of the direction it's moving in, and it's only half. The force mode I spent a long time experimenting with, and impulse just turned out to be the best one. Then this last line of code dampens the movement of these rigid bodies so that they're not too crazy. Then when you release the input, or it's not fully extended, it's kinematic, and then it does a transform vector 3 lerp sort of thing. And this is the same code here and here. When it's extending, the lerp is faster. But if it's fully extended, or no, what is this? Oh, if you're not doing the extend input anymore, it's a little bit slower. Yeah, so, and then down here, it's calculating the size of the colliders and which direction to look into. And then this is for activating the blade, and that's later. Alright, so then for extending out those points, there is, right here, the whip weapon script, and then I have an array, and I put all those points in there. And let's just look at that. It's pretty easy. When blade activate, no, when we're doing extend input, we got the weapon range, and if it's less than that, it just adds an amount, and then it's fully extended. And then the reverse happens when you release the button. That's pretty easy. And then you can see the endpoint variable is the range of the weapon. It should go to the range of the weapon. But yeah, the middle points are just fractions of the endpoint length. Okay, so then, like a machine gun, if you're shooting it and it's making like a ribbon of fire across the sky that is just tearing apart your enemy, you can run out of bullets, and I thought I'd do something similar. So instead of running out of bullets, you run out of charge for your laser wire thing. The blade activated, it turns white. The material changes to the white material, and it also gets a little fatter. And then when it's deactivated, it turns black, and it's thinner. I don't have any code in for making limited charge, but it'll be in there. What else is there? Alright, so there's 2 scripts. What else is there? What else is there? Oh wait, well I think it's just those 2 scripts actually. I thought there were 3. But yeah, each one of these points has a trigger kill script. I should name that something else. But yeah, this is the script that's put on all the weapons in the game. And when the blade the wire is deactivated, the damage type turns to bash, and then it just only does 1 damage. Or no, it does 1 damage up here. But when you turn it on, you can see it right there. It turns to slice damage, and slice damage is 100.